and Portugal. I hope you're all having a wonderful and train-tastic day, as I am your host, Tyler Wallinger. I'm actually one of the business development executives for both Railbookers and Amtrak Vacations. So today, again, I hope you all have a wonderful time joining me on this virtual train tour, excuse me, through the most beautiful country in the world, I feel like, is Spain, and then second by Portugal. So welcome aboard, everyone. So what we'll be covering today is, of course, a couple things. Important things to know about traveling by train are, so we're going to be talking about a little bit of the different rail systems in Spain and Portugal, which will be Renfe and a little bit of CP Portugal. We'll talk about popular destinations to consider for your next rail vacation, maybe either be Spain or Portugal, or even other areas around the globe. We'd love to, of course, answer any questions you may have. And at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, folks, there is a questionnaire box. So please feel free to type out any questions you may have throughout the presentation, and we'll make sure we'll schedule some time at the end to answer those questions in detail. We'll also talk about how we can route your vacation from, of course, anywhere in the globe, and also how our Railbookers is able to provide a safe environment for you at this time. So first and foremost, folks, for those of you who have never joined any Railbookers webinar before, I want to welcome you. And if you don't mind sharing in the questions box in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen where you all are joining from today, I would greatly appreciate it. Just give me a quick shout out where you all are joining from today. I know we have a lot of people joining us from outside the globe as well. Oh, we got some people from Canada joining. Thank you so much. Got some people from Alberta, Canada. Wonderful. Oh, we got some people here from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Thank you again. I appreciate that. So if you don't mind sharing with me, folks, where y'all are joining from in the questions box, I would greatly appreciate. Oh, we got some people from Florida, Georgia. Thank you, Latanya. Thank you. We got Bend, Oregon. Thank you, Jerry. Wonderful. Keep them coming, folks. Love to know where y'all are joining from today before we set sail off on our or I should say, take off on our train journey. Wonderful Michigan, some more people from Georgia. Great, 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 great. All right, so folks, as you continue to pour in your responses, yes, Carrie, this webinar is live and recorded. So just let you know, this is a recorded webinar. So as I mentioned, folks, our two distinct YANKEE Leisure Group brands, which one of them we'll be talking about today. So to our left is Amtrak Vacations. Now, Amtrak Vacations, folks, is the official tour operator for Amtrak, and of course, Amtrak is the rail operator that moves over, I think we're close to 1 or 2 million passengers each year on its rail system, if not alone more. And a majority of the people, folks, are usually wanting to travel not just on the train system, but to many great destinations such as the national parks like Glacier, Grand Canyon, Yellowstone National Park, to name a few. But we do a lot of great destinations with Amtrak Vacations, including those national parks, and we take care of also the lodging in those national parks. So folks, definitely use Amtrak Vacations for domestic rail holiday travel. And to our right is Railbookers. Now, Railbookers is very similar to Amtrak Vacations in the concept that we take care of the rail, the hotels, sightseeing tours, of course, transfers, ferries, you name it, all that's going to be with Railbookers. And we take care of everything from, as I mentioned before, all those components, but also we travel to many great destinations such as Europe, Canada, Australia, Africa, and so much other great places as well, including Alaska and the Canadian Rockies. And folks, you could also find out on our website, we have our digital brochures, everything from cruise extensions to luxury rail journeys. I love talking about luxury trains, so definitely this is a wonderful brochure to check out, which will feature everything from the Venice Simplon Orient Express to the Trans-Siberian Golden Eagle Express. And folks, all of our rail vacation packages, which is what makes us so, efficient and also, more desirable in the marketplace, is that we can book our rail vacation packages out to 24 months in advance. So it does make us very, unique in that marketplace. We can book as early as today out to far as 2023. And you can find us on our website at www.railbookers.com. That's how you can find out for those brochures I was talking about. You can look out for deals, where to start planning your vacation. You can look at all of our vacation packages from closer to home to as far out as exotic as you like it to be. And we work with all the major direct rail partnerships global-wide, everything from Trenitalia, Deutsche Bahn, Via Rail, Amtrak, Norwegian Rail, and even including some of the ones we're going to be talking about today, which is Renfe and CP Portugal. So why do travelers love rail bookers? Well, number one, folks, we are the rail experts. We know these rail routes. We know the best times to travel to make sure that you get the best vacation possible. And that's, of course, we know these destinations and railroads because we've experienced them ourselves. Number two, of course, we could book our rail vacation packages as early as today and as far as 2023. So if you want to start being able to plan your bucket list trip either for next year or as far as 2023, either way, we have you covered. So make sure you give us a call today at 1-888-829-3040 so you can make sure you get a free quote. That way we can be able to help plan your dream vacation with no additional charge. Also, one thing that we make sure that we really like to promote is maximum flexibility. So we provide any destination, any date for any length of time. Simply put it, if the train goes there, so do we. So we offer that maximum flexibility to help you folks to be able to have a wonderful dream vacation possible without the hassle. We have a large actually, we have the largest rail vacation selection, from luxury journeys to multi-country journeys, even to extend your cruise. So if you have a future travel credit, folks, with for a river or ocean cruise, definitely think of us to extend your cruise vacation. Maybe travel to the places beyond the cruises cannot go to, and we can customize any of our rail itineraries based upon what you're looking for. And no rail trip is complicated for us, folks. Where some think it's very confusing and challenging, for us it's very simple because, again, it goes back to our major point. We are the rail experts. And we have a 24-hour support staff from all of our global offices. We have offices all around the globe, from Laguna Hills, California, Toronto, Canada, Beverly, Massachusetts, London, UK, even down south to Sydney, Australia. So folks, I just mentioned a few moments ago about customization. So a lot of people ask, well, Tyler, what does customizing a trip look like, or what does that mean? Well, number one, of course, is we can add on any destination. So let's say you're looking at one of our packages, for example, you're looking at our Rome, Florence, and Venice package, and you want to add on Milan, or you want to add on the Cinque Terre, or the Amalfi Coast. No worries, you can definitely add that to your package. Or maybe saying, Tyler, I want to make this round trip. I'm flying into Paris. I want to fly out of Paris. Is that possible? Can we make a package that's round trip for me to fly in and out of? Absolutely. Or maybe you say, hey, Tyler, I'm looking at a package online and it looks great, but I want to flip it in reverse. Is that even possible? You got it. It's absolutely possible with us. We can even upgrade your rail tickets from standard class to first class or business executive class, whatever it may be. We can always upgrade you to that more, to the higher accommodation. We can add on sightseeing tours, or even upgrade those private tours to something more to your liking as well. So really much more for next year, and even as far as 2023. People are looking to do more private tours, folks, with us, which is actually quite unique, more than I've ever seen before. Back in pre-COVID years, people are looking to have more of that intimate time with the travel guide, and also being able to not have many people being in their way when they're exploring the Louvre, or when they're visiting a famous art gallery like maybe the Prado. That's one of the reasons why people want that private guided tour experience, to have that more intimate time, and also getting to learn more without people barging or asking questions that may not be important to them. And also, folks, we have a wide range of hotel accommodations, from 3, 4, and 5-star options. And folks, here's the thing: you can customize them in your own same trip. So it doesn't have to be, a 3-star all the way around, or a 4-star, 5-star. Say, hey, maybe in Italy, in Spain, in Madrid, I want to stay at a 5-star, but maybe in Cordoba and Barcelona, I want to stay at a 4 or 3-star. It doesn't have to always be the same selection. So that's where we can customize that as well. So now, and again, it kind of get to the nitty gritty for most folks, is why is it important for you to book now? Well, number one, we have our maximum flexibility offer. Right now, we have our maximum flexibility offer for you to be able to book any new reservation between now and September 30th of this year, folks. This year, September 30th of this year, without incurring any change or cancellation fee. That's our maximum flexibility offer. So that's why it's very important for you to book now versus later, to make sure you take advantage of this maximum flexibility offer. And folks, we also have some great promotions going on right now too that won't last long. So you definitely want to make sure you get the best savings possible for your trip, right? Everyone looks to save money. By the way, if you don't mind, folks, in the questions box, if you'd like to save money, just type a quick money sign or love to save money. I know a lot of you out there are like me. I like to be able to get the best value possible my trip. If you'd like to save money, and I can give you some more details on some of our upcoming promotions, I'd love to share that with you today. So just type out in the questions box, love to save money. Thank you, Latanya Jones. She loves to save money. I know a lot of you out there. Oh, great. Thanks, Trenrell. I appreciate that. So a lot of you out there love to save money. Thanks, Arlene. So this is definitely a great way for you to be able to not only save money, but also get the best value possible. And that's our maximum flexibility offer, folks. If you can take anything from me today besides the destinations, definitely screenshot this, write this down, take advantage of our maximum flexibility offer. You'll thank me later for it. And by the way, folks, another thing about the maximum flexibility offer is, again, you can change your dates, change your duration of your trip, even the destination of your vacation. So originally say, hey, we were going to go to Spain, but now we want to go to Italy. Again, you can choose that without incurring those change or cancellation fees. So, again, not only do we have our maximum flexibility offer, folks, but here's the other thing. Railbookers is so unique in the marketplace is because we make European rail travel made easy. Folks, did you know there's actually 5 different ways you can travel from London to Venice? Who knew? But again, that's where we as the rail experts come in. You could take a more scenic route. Let's say if you want to go down and through Switzerland and take the Bernina Express, or maybe you want to take an overnight rail journey from London to Venice. Again, there's many great options for you to travel with us. We can provide you with the best routes, the best accommodations, and the most scenic route journey as possible. And folks, as you can see here on this map, there are many different colorful lines. I know it looks pretty and awe-inspiring. Ooh, ah. But don't get confused with that, because a lot of these rail operators actually don't talk with one another. And as you'll notice in some of our packages, a lot of people will travel multi-country journeys with us. For example, we actually have a London, Paris, and Barcelona package. It actually uses 3 different rail operators. It uses Eurostar, uses my apologies, the TGV system, and Renfe. And again, these rail operators actually have specific times when you can book it. On the average marketplace, most people can only book about 30, maybe 60 days in advance, sometimes 90, depending on the rail operator. But with us, we can book up to 24 months in advance, and that's including those rail tickets. So how are rail operators maintain a safe environment during this time? Well, number one, of course, they are requiring facial coverings in the stations and on board the trains for themselves, for both passengers and staff. So again, folks, this is a great way for you to remember that, even during this time, people are still taking those necessary and precautious measures to make sure that you have a wonderful and safe time traveling on board the train. They have stopped the sale of food and drink on board the trains, but don't let that discourage you, folks. What I always recommend and suggest that passengers actually bring on their own little picnic lunch or their own picnic breakfast, or even maybe a nice little romantic dinner on the train, depending on what time you're traveling. When my wife and I travel, we usually have like a nice little picnic basket with us. We'll have some bread, we'll have some cheeses, we'll have some meats, and usually a nice little bottle of wine, and just kind of go to town while we're seeing this ironic and amazing scenery. So it's definitely a great way to be able to enjoy the travel by having a little picnic lunch. They haven't changed they changed the seating configuration and allocation on board to allow for social distancing. What that means, folks, is that instead of it actually being full capacity as it was in pre-COVID years, it's actually now going to be filled less capacity. Usually right now the average is about 50 to 40% capacity. They have increased the cleaning and sanitations at the stations and on board the trains, again, to make sure it's a safe environment for all. And they have also have changed their ticketing process. So instead of actually having physical copy tickets for the most part, it's actually going to be all through email and on apps. So they can be able to, of course, without having to have that interaction or contact between the passenger and staff, it's easy for them to scan it on your mobile device through an app, or having your tickets download on your phone. All right, folks, so the moment we all been waiting for. Now we're going to be flying, of course, over the Atlantic Ocean, and we're going to be taking this virtual train tour through Spain and Portugal. So this is our classic Spain 15-day package. And folks, look at the price here. I want you to see the price. Look at that, $3,449 per person. This is a great value and a great price. And for those of you folks who are from Canada, we do have a Canadian price. This is just our US price base, so just be aware that if you do have, if you want to look to get more information for the Canadian price, you just make sure you give us a call through our Railbookers Canada line. So the highlights of this package, folks, is definitely you'll get the rail accommodations included, you get your hotel stays, and a majority of our hotels, folks, do include breakfast. So again, that's one less meal you have to pay for. But you also get to be able to explore the vibrant capital city of Madrid, visit its parks, its museums and galleries. You'll get to explore the impressive Royal Palace and Alcazar of Seville. You'll discover the Mosque of Cordoba, one of the world's greatest Islamic buildings. You'll tour the lavish Alhambra Palace in Granada, which, by the way, folks, if any of those of you are Game of Thrones fans out there, I know the season ended not so well, but the Alhambra Palace is actually featured in the Game of Thrones series, so just definitely check that out. You'll get to visit the Alcazaba Fortress and also the Picasso Museum in Malaga, which Picasso himself was actually born there, which we'll talk about a little bit later today. And you'll even get to marvel the exquisite Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which, by the way, folks, a little fun fact. Did you know that the Sagrada Familia is still actually not complete? It's actually even older and is taking more time than the building of the Great Pyramids of Giza. Quite fascinating, I think. So again, this is a trip that starts in Madrid and ends in Barcelona. So folks, you'll start your trip with a 3-night stay in Madrid, and you'll get to see quite a bit of history as well as modern artwork. So the capital city of Spain, of course, as I mentioned before, it was actually the capital city of Spain since the 17th century. And the name Madrid, funny enough, folks, is actually not Spanish, but Arabic. And the term actually comes from Margarit, which is the place of many streams. So that's where Madrid comes from. And you'll notice, folks, in Madrid, you'll have the opportunity to visit some of the many great world-renowned art museums, or museos, is what people call them, found in the Golden Triangle. Particularly the Museo, which is the Museo Paseo. Sorry, my apologies, the Paseo de Prado. This museum actually has over 700 sculptures and, think about this, folks, 8,000 paintings covering over more than 100 rooms and 3 different floors of the Prado. And folks, this museum is definitely worth checking out, and I highly suggest it. So make sure you do arrive there early in the morning before the major crowds come in the late morning to early afternoon. And also found in the Golden Triangle of museums. You can also check out the Museo Reina Sofia. You'll get to check out the Museo di San Bormizia. All of this will have legendary, art galleries from famous artists such as Goya to Velázquez could be found in these great 3 museums. But also, folks, checking out the nightlife in Madrid. We offer everything from tapa tastings to, tapa eating and different wine tastings as well while you're exploring the city. Flamenco shows, all that could be found and exploring in Madrid. And while you're visiting Seville, folks, maybe you get to be able to check out the famous cathedrals. You get to see this vibrant city come to life, but especially the Seville Plaza de España. This is where really a lot of the history is at. This is also where the Alcazar it can be found. So definitely worth checking out also while you are there. And by the way, folks, right, one little quick little fun fact about Seville. Seville is actually the birthplace of tapas. So it's definitely a great way for you to pair your tapa with an Andalusian sherry. So a little helpful tip there. And also in Seville, it's the final birthplace of Christopher Columbus. So the world famous Christopher Columbus is actually buried in the Cathedral of Seville. Its original resting place was Valladolid, Spain, but of course it was transferred in the 20th century. By the way, another thing you'll find in Seville, folks, is the Seville oranges. You'll get to definitely feel some of the blossoms, the orange blossoms coming about in the early spring. You see some of the oranges coming out in late spring, early summertime. The oranges are definitely a little more tart, a little more sour, but definitely great source of vitamin C and also perfect for making marmalade. So definitely worth checking out Seville on your trip. You also get to visit the historic city of Cordoba, which again, folks, there are all of the sightseeing tours in our packages are included. So you get to be able to see a majority of these historic sites that are included in this package. You'll also get the opportunity to visit Granada, which is another great historic site. By the way, folks, Spain alone has over 44 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which actually, funny enough, majority of them can be found in the destinations that would be featured in this Classic Spain package. As I mentioned, you'll find them in Seville, Madrid, Cordoba, Granada, and also, of course, the and also in Barcelona. But in Granada, folks, you'll get to be able to check out the Alhambra Palace, which is where you'll find it in Granada. This is where, as I mentioned before, the Granada Palace, the Alhambra Palace is where you get to be able to see the differences in Spanish architecture and even Arabic architecture as well. A lot of it is mainly Muslim based, so definitely worth checking out while you're visiting in Granada. If not for the history, definitely check out some of the sites that were featured in the Game of Thrones. By the way, folks, we also have in our packages, I should try to go back for a second, in Granada, we do actually have the opportunity for you, if you wish to really, really get a great experience, to stay overnight at the Alhambra Palace. And if you want to find out more information about that, if you really want to stay in a luxurious palace, definitely make sure you give us a call today at 1-888 829-3040. How much of a great experience would that to be able to say, hey, you know, for an anniversary or a honeymoon, or even just to celebrate a birthday, you got to be able to stay inside the Alhambra Palace. More of that, give us a call. And then you'll get to also check out Malaga. So Malaga is a beautiful coastal town, as you can see here, folks. Beautiful azurine water. You get these nice palm trees. It kind of reminds you a little bit of Southern California, but it's in Spain. In Spain, folks, you get to check out Malaga, which is famous for the Alcazaba fortress, which was built back by the Hamidid dynasty in the early 11th century. And the building itself is actually still standing today. It's really kind of features the most importance of the Muslim culture and that really predominantly reigned over Spain during the Moors, the Moor dynasty, which was in the 11th, 12th century. Also that can be found in Malaga, folks, is also the Pablo Picasso Museum. By the way, Pablo Picasso was born in Malaga, Spain in 1881 and passed away in 1970. I believe 1973, if I'm mistaken. Yes, 1973. And about 30 years later, after his death was passed away, the Museo Picasso of Malaga was created and born, and over 285 of his works was actually donated by the Picasso family to the museum. And folks, after the end of your stay in Malaga, you'll finally end over into Barcelona. And in Barcelona, of course, folks, as I mentioned, the city itself has over 9 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. 7 of them were created by Gaudi, which Antoni Gaudi is the famous architect that created the Sagrada Familia. La Sagrada Familia was constructed in 1882 by Antoni Gaudi, and Gaudi himself is actually buried inside the basilica, so you can check that out. And as you can see, it's still unfinished. There's still a lot of work to be done, so a lot of the construction is still being handled as of today, and it's going to take still quite a bit of time. They project it to be about by the 100th anniversary of the La Sagrada Familia, you can be able to see it being completed its work. You can also check out the Barcelona Picasso Museum. By the way, folks, you can get free admission into the Barcelona Picasso Museum also. Definitely check out the Barcelona Espana Square. This is where all the, a lot of the nightlife happens out, and you can even see a beautiful scenery that lit up at night right around the, the sunset time period. Now, folks, if you're looking for more of that Andalusia feel, we have our Madrid and Complete Andalusia 15-day package. Look at this price, folks, $2,849. And it includes, again, all that you see here, the major highlights such as enjoying tapas at the Puerto de Sol in Madrid. You get to tour the Alhambra Palace and watch authentic flamenco show inside the palace. Sorry, I apologize, not inside the palace, but in Granada at a home of flamenco. I apologize, folks. That's my bad. That's going to be at still a wonderful home, which is famous for flamenco dancing. You'll discover the layers of history of beautiful Cordoba. You'll get to tour the charming town of Jaén in its grand cathedral. Wander the ancient city streets of Cadiz, and also get to see, literally stepping right out the Atlantic Ocean there. You'll be closest to the Atlantic Ocean, and also marvel the riches of the orange trees lined up in Seville, and get to be able to be amazed by the El Tajal Gorge, which is the legendary bull ring on Ronda. All that could be found here, folks. Again, this package does start in Madrid and ends in Madrid, so it's an easy way to make this round trip for you to fly into Madrid and out of Madrid. So again, folks, another great historical area is the Plaza Ormella. Definitely worth checking out. This is where you get to see the Royal Palace. Is right nearby. So by the way, folks, for those who may not know, the Royal Palace of Spain actually was created by Philip V in the 18th century and still houses the monarchy of Spain today. You'll then get to head over to Granada and get to be able to visit the famous gardens of the Alhambra Palace, folks. This is absolutely one of the beautiful sections, in my opinion, of the Alhambra. It's just the beautiful gardens, the waterways. It really does, have that imagination, that kind of picturesque feel when visiting there. You'll also get to explore the historic streets of Cordoba and get to be able to visit the famous Great Mosque Cathedral of Cordoba, famous for its pillars here, as you can see. All of that is, again, giving that Spanish yet Arabic kind of feel when visiting the cathedral. You also get to visit Cadiz. Cadiz is, again, one of the most beautiful yet historic places found right near the Atlantic Ocean there, but also features, again, great mosques and cathedrals found throughout Cadiz. And then finally, folks, you get to check out the Alcazar in Seville, as well as the famous cathedral. By the way, folks, a lot of the tile work is still, still found by the 12th and 13th century. So definitely worth checking out the Seville Plaza de España that is there. Then you'll get to tour Ronda, which is very famous for the historic bull ring there. But you can just see, folks, Ronda is definitely a city that is worth checking out. It is actually on my bucket list. I haven't been there yet, but just the pictures alone are definitely very astounding. But Ronda Plaza de Sorcio is definitely where the historic plaza is at. You'll notice in a lot of areas in Europe, the plazas where the major, place where people usually go out for walks. Evening walks is what you'll see. They'll usually go get a nice little evening treat, or they'll have drinks and just kind of sit down and do people watching. So you'll see a lot of that in the plazas. You'll then get to explore Malaga, Spain there, all of its beauty and glory, and also, again, heading right back up to Madrid, the capital city, before you fly on home. After that, folks, you'll probably say, well, Tyler, I'm just engulfed in Spain. I really want to go there. Well, folks, if you definitely want to see Spain, might as well go also check out Portugal while you're there. If you're going to really want to see Spain, definitely visit its sister country, which is Portugal. Spain and Portugal Essential Tour, folks. This is an 11-day package, and it starts at $1,699. So if you really try to stay, maybe 15 days is too long, but you really want to see both Spain and Portugal, this is a great package, and the price itself is really, a great price and value. You'll get to immerse yourself in the best parts of Spain and Portugal. You get to travel on the high-speed trains, which is Renfe, through these amazing, exciting cities. You'll start your journey in Barcelona, right? You'll then travel over to Madrid, and then you'll head down to Seville. And then you'll take a bus from Seville to Lisbon. Unfortunately, there is no direct train route from Seville to Lisbon. There is an alternative route for it, folks. If you wish, you can take the overnight train from Madrid to Lisbon on the Lusitania. That is an alternative option. But most people usually take the bus. It's actually a very pretty ride going through the mountain range in there. And then you get to, of course, travel through some of the rich, the rich history of the Spanish Empire through beautiful Seville. You get to check out the vibrant and shopping areas and markets in Lisbon, and get to sample some port wine in the cellars of Porto. So again, folks, this is our Spain and Portugal Essential Tour. It does start in Spain and ends in Porto. So again, major cities where you can fly into and out of as well. So you can start your trip with us in Barcelona. Again, famous for, as I mentioned, all those major architectural wonders and even historical sites, folks, again, like the Sagrada Familia. You'll then head over to Spain and check out the Royal Palace and also the gardens. Again, very worth seeing when checking out Madrid. You get to see the Prado Museum, very famous for, as I mentioned, Velázquez artwork dating back to around the 15th century. You'll get to visit Seville and the Alcazar there and be able to visit the Plaza de España. This is really, again, one of the major historical sites people will check out when visiting Seville. Then you'll travel over to Lisbon, very famous for its capital city. You get to be able to check out the Bellman Tower, which is famous in Lisbon. Definitely a great historical site there. It's a huge fortress that was there to protect the city of Lisbon from any invaders. Then you'll travel up through on by train through the CP Portugal, which is the high-speed train system there, up and through to Porto, where you get to be able to visit this historic city. Again, you get to also check out and taste some sampling wine of port. So port wine is found in Porto. But maybe Spain is not on your bucket list, but you really want to visit Portugal. No problem. We have an 8-day package, folks, that starts at $799, and it is our Porto, Coimbra, and Lisbon, Spain package. Again, it is easy for you to spend 3 nights in Lisbon, and then or sorry, it starts in Porto and ends in Lisbon. I am so sorry, folks. It starts your package in Porto with 2 nights, then you take the high-speed train down to Coimbra for 2 nights, and then you'll head down to Lisbon for 3 nights. And you get to be able to see all the major historical sites there in Portugal. Folks, but again, one thing I love about Porto, as you'll notice here, is actually the sea. This azurine crystal blue ocean there is really romantic. People definitely come from all over the world to visit Porto, not just for its wine, but also for the historic city, even its library, folks. The library itself is several centuries years old. One of the oldest libraries in the world is actually found in Porto. Then you'll head down to Coimbra, very famous for its historical city as well, folks. You'll notice a lot of times in Europe, these people come over there for the architectural wonders, and that can be really much found in Spain and Portugal. And then you'll head down to Lisbon, folks, which will be the end of your journey there for the 3 nights. You get to check out the Rosia Square. We also provide sightseeing tours, folks, that get to check out these historical sites in areas along the way. Folks, we'd have on our upcoming webinars on August 17th, we have our top 7 most popular worldwide luxury iconic trains, everything from the Venice Simplon Orient Express to the Trans-Siberian Golden Eagle Express. Definitely check out on August 17th. So if you're looking for a luxury journey of a lifetime, definitely check out this webinar coming up here, I think next week. On August 24th, we have another webinar attending for the Extend Your River and Ocean Cruise with Railbookers. So if you have a future travel credit, you're looking to do a river or ocean cruise next year or even to 2023, think of Railbookers for those pre or post extensions. That's what we really are famous for, folks. We do also take care of those pre or post extensions. So you can go beyond the river or ocean cruise port cities and see the places inland that you can only access by train. So my question for you all folks today is, what destinations are you considering for your next vacation? I would love for you, if you don't mind, typing out in the questionnaire box in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, which destinations are you considering for your next vacation? I love to be able to answer any questions or be able to see if where we can help out. Catherine also is interested in the Trans-Siberian Golden Eagle Express. That's a wonderful experience. Catherine, definitely give us a call for that. That is a wonderful luxury train experience. So we do offer the Trans-Siberian Golden Eagle Express. Folks, if you don't mind, type in the questionnaire box which destinations you're considering for your next vacation and when are you looking to travel. I would love to know that or be able to answer or give you some tips on that. All right, we have some people looking to go to Spain next year. Great. We got some people wanting to go to Italy, Germany as well. Great. Keep them coming, folks. If you don't mind sharing with me in the questions box in the bottom right corner of your screen, I love to be able to, of course, answer any questions you may have. Oh, we got people wanting to go to India. Thank you. St. Petersburg's in Russia as well. Great. We've got some Russia people here. Look great. Great. Wonderful, folks. So as you continue to report your responses, oh, you've got people wanting to go to Switzerland. Great. I want to take this time now, folks, to be able to answer any questions you may have. Also, folks, very quickly, I did want to share with you, we do have some promotions going on right now. If I'm not mistaken, we do have a flash sale going with Amtrak Vacations, up to $350 off your bookings. Definitely take out a look with Amtrak Vacations. We also have some promotions going on for Italy as well as Spain, and even some pre and post cruise travel where you can save up to $150 off or more on your vacation with us. So definitely check out our deals page on the www.railbookers.com website, or contact your local travel advisor to assist you with that, folks. We are always here to help. So I want to take some time to answer some questions in detail. All right, so it looks like Carrie Southard asked, are transfers between the train and hotel included? That's a great question, Carrie. So many of the transfers in Spain are not included. But be aware, of course, a lot of our hotel accommodations are close by to the train station, so it's either close walking distance or a short cab ride away. Very easy and sufficient to use their taxi system there, but we do not provide transfers, unfortunately, between the train stations and the hotel. But again, very convenient how our hotels are located nearby the train station. Let's see, Carrie Southern also asked, are tour guides included? That's a great question. So tour guides are usually included with the sightseeing tour experiences. So let's say if you're doing a sightseeing tour of the Sagrada Familias, for example, yes, there will be a tour guide that will take you into the La Sagrada Familia, skip the line tickets, and then also kind of show you around the historical site, for example. But in regards to tour guides being with you throughout the entire journey with you, no. This is an independent vacation, so you are going to be, traveling with your significant other or family or friends, but the tour guide will not be with you along the way. It's not an escort tour. This is an independent vacation. So great question. Let's see here. Great question. Arlene Reinhardt asks, how far are the train to the hotels generally? That's a great question. Normally about a couple blocks sometimes, sometimes about 5, maybe a 10-minute taxi ride away, just depends upon the hotel's location, but nothing that's extremely far or difficult to achieve. So definitely, Arlene, that's a great question. A lot of our hotels are within close proximity. I'd say, again, usually within about 5, maybe 10-minute walk to about a 5-10-minute drive. It depends. All right. Oh, perfect. Efren is interested in the 15-day, including also Portugal as well. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Latanya Jones asks, do you have specific tours for holidays? And are those prices for kids as well? Great question, Latanya. So if you're looking for child pricing, that's definitely going to be more, there's going to be definitely a different price for that. So you want to make sure you give us a call at 1-888-829-3040 for that family pricing, especially for children. And we do have specific tours for holidays. So if they're more holiday, focused like Christmas, New Year's, we do feature some of that. So definitely give us a call. We can look into that for you. Arlene Reinhardt asked, is language a problem in Spain or Portugal? No, that's a great question. So a lot of actually in Spain, majority the most common tongue is Spanish. It's traditional Spanish from Spain, not Spanish in Mexico, folks. Actual Spanish in Spain. But a majority of them do speak English as well. So English is a second language to them. But it's always great to learn a little bit of Spanish while you're there. It not only shows a sign of respect, but also, of course, to really value and appreciate their culture. All right, let's see here. Gary Fricky asks, I have a trip in Spain and Portugal in October. Who can I contact to answer questions regarding COVID restrictions? That's a great question, Jerry. What you could do is actually give us a call at 1-888-829-3040. That's our again, that's the best number to call. That's our reservations department. They could be able to answer any questions you may have regarding any COVID restrictions. That's a great question. Catherine Schlembecker asks, we prefer train trips with overnighting on a train. That's a great question, or actually a good statement, I should say. We can definitely provide overnight train journeys if you wish to do that. There are a few overnight train journeys in Europe. In Spain, of course, the only overnight, there's actually a couple. One is a luxury train journey that travels through the northern part of Spain, which is called the Transcantabrico. That is an overnight journey. It does make several stops along the way. And there's another overnight train that goes into Spain and Portugal, which is the Lusitania. There is another one called the Sudic Express, but the Lusitania is the most popular. So, but that connects itself between Madrid and Lisbon. Let's see here. Oh, I apologize, Efren. Yes, so there is he's asking, is there a 15-day tour of Portugal, including Algarve? Oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry. We don't have a 15-day tour of Portugal, unfortunately, Efren, but doesn't mean that we do have a tour that can include the Algarve, I believe. So to get more information on that, I would definitely give us a call at 1-888-829-3040. That's our Railbookers reservations department. That way we can see what other Portugal packages that maybe weren't featured in today's presentation that we can be able to assist you with that includes the Algarve. So great question. All right, folks, if you have any other questions, please feel free to type them out at this time. I'd love to be able to answer any questions you may have, either maybe for Spain and Portugal or for any of our Railbookers packages or destinations. I'd love to help out with that and answer any questions at this time. Let's see here. All right. Okay, folks. Well, if there isn't any other questions, please feel free to give us a call today, folks, at 1-888-829-3040. Again, that's our Railbookers number. And if you're looking to travel domestically here with Amtrak Vacations, that number is 1-800-268-7252. I hope all of you have a wonderful and train-tastic day. And thank you so much for joining with me on this virtual train tour of Spain and Portugal. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.